Number 1. NephCure's Young Investigator Award.
To help attract promising young researchers to the field, these grants funded some of the now top scientists in the rare kidney disease space.
I can draw a direct line from starting to work on this funded by the Young Investigator Award, all the way to getting R1 funding and continuing to do this work, publishing several papers along the way, to the point that now, as a culmination of our work in the laboratory, there is a phase 2 clinical trial based on the research that was originated from the Young Investigator Award.
It enabled me to launch really a new set of investigative studies that form the basis for subsequent independent NIH funding that I still rely on today.
Number 2. NephCure expands Scientific Advisory Board.
Back in 2019, NephCure added diversity to this board, made up of leading scientists who push glomerular disease research forward by welcoming accomplished physicians Laura Barasoni, Alessia Fornoni, and Marva Moxie Mims.
I think that these three wonderful additions help modernize how we think about the approach in glomerular diseases and really helping to translate it faster. So they were catalysts in helping to get the basic science really out of the stable, much more closer to the patient.
Number 3. Tampa Pig Jig.
Starting as a backyard get-together to help raise money for a friend diagnosed with FSGS, Tampa Pig Jig has now blossomed into a full-blown live music concert and barbecue competition. Pig Jig has raised more than $4 million for NephCure to date.
The fundraising will enable more research and hopefully find a cure for the disease, which would just, impact so many lives.
We've been really fortunate. We've had it, for a very rare disease. We've built a network of over 20 patient families in conjunction with NephCure and y'all's efforts to really consolidate and connect patients that otherwise, and patient families that otherwise may go their lifetime without meeting other patients.
Number 4. Help from Dr. Josie Briggs.
This influential doctor from the NIH was one of the first people who gave NephCure's founding members the idea to create a patient advocacy group back in 2000.
And she said, start a patient advocacy group, which we did. And then we went to Washington. She was our biggest help at the beginning. We didn't even know what a patient advocacy group was at that time.
Number 5. The first industry-sponsored Phase 3 study in FSGS.
It could be the first true innovation in kidney disease treatment since dialysis was invented over 75 years ago. This trial has helped influence others to invest in new treatments and has the potential to help all protein-spilling kidney disease patients.
We had to make sure we could recruit the study. Because it's a rare disease, because it's such a large study, the question was, can you get these patients?
We're excited about the fact that that particular trial is enrolling, and the reason we're excited about that is because it gives us essentially a bit of a standard bearer to be able to show that these trials can be conducted. They can enroll all the way to completion, and again, label a therapy for the purposes of treating patients with focal segmental glomerulosclerosis.
Number 6. NephCure volunteers.
A devoted, passionate, and hardworking group, they make everything NephCure does possible.
People that volunteer for NephCure are like family. We've all been through some rough times. Because we share this commonality and this struggle together, it brings us closer together.
Protein-spilling kidney disease is so rare that you feel so isolated. And when you do connect with other people that are walking a similar journey with you, it kind of makes you a special, unique group of people.
Number 7. The FSGS Externally Led Patient-Focused Drug Development Meeting.
The FDA wants to understand patients' experience and needs when approving new treatments. This meeting was the first of its kind focused on FSGS. Key stakeholders listened in to NephCure patients.
This helps to have everyone understand what's the disease like, what are the treatments that are available now, but also what's all that surround sound going on with the patients? How does it affect things like money, the cost of the disease, the cost for services? So it's really important to get the full picture, and the ELPFDDs bring all that information together.
Number 8. Creating a new endpoint for kidney disease trials.
Originally, when studying kidney disease treatments, you had to wait until kidney failure to see if a drug was effective. It was time-consuming, expensive, and potentially harmful to patient health. In 2016, a substitute marker was developed in order to prove drug effects on kidney function.
Having a surrogate outcome that could potentially be used for approval for a novel medication really just changed the feasibility of conducting clinical trials in kidney disease, and specifically in FSGS and other glomerular diseases. You can imagine that a company might be much more willing to try a novel therapeutic in this area if they know that a clinical trial can be accomplished in a couple years. So it's really led to a number of companies being interested in the renal space and specifically in rare disease that we just didn't have 10 years ago.
Number 9. NephCure Leadership Summit.
This unique patient conference brings together the global rare kidney disease community. Volunteers learn about the latest treatments, research, and they even have an opportunity to connect with other families.
I've learned so much. I've met people that I would have never had the opportunity to meet. I'm from Georgia. I've met people from California that has the disease, their child has it. And it's just amazing to make connections that if something's going wrong for me, I can call them and ask them, how does this work for you? How are you feeling? And it's just great to make that connection and just to learn so much.
Number 10. Clinical Trial Explosion.
In the past few years, we've gone from 0 to now more than 20 trials studying potential treatments for glomerular disease patients. Within the next several years, one or more of these treatments could be approved and available out of pharmacy.
So for patients who for a long time did not have any options that even were on the horizon, you can see clearly now that over the next few years, that landscape is going to change dramatically for patients to be able to access drugs that will really improve their kidney function over the long term.
Number 11. KidneyHealthGateway.com.
After new kidney disease trials started, NephCure created a one-stop-shop, patient-friendly database to help match patients to the best trial for them. In the first year alone, 5,000 new families joined the community.
It's helped patients identify potential therapies and trials that they may not otherwise have had access to. And as rare disease trials are challenging to recruit, any additional efforts to help identify patients adds value, not just for the potential success of the treatment, but also for the individual patient seeking alternative treatment options.
It's really important for patients to know about it, but at the same time, for physicians and nephrologists, the one important question to ask patients are you interested in a trial? And if they are, and it's a glomerular disease trial, then we can give them that link to start the process of looking.
Number 12. NephCure Specialists Program.
As a part of Kidney Health Gateway, NephCure curated a list of top disease specialists to connect patients to expert care earlier in their diagnosis.
That has helped immensely in kind of giving newly diagnosed families a place to find good, solid information, to find where your specialists are.
Number 13. NephCure's early visits with the NIDDK.
At these meetings with the government in 2005, NephCure secured $300,000 of funding by getting a proposal issued for FSGS. This also started an important long-standing relationship with the NIDDK.
Our idea was to do something that had never, to our knowledge, been done with NIDDK before. Our theory was we shouldn't ask for anything. We could be different by giving them something and ask them how we could help them. And that's what we did. We said to him, we have $300,000, which we didn't have, but we said we did. Will you match it? All we want is for more FSGS research to be funded. And he said yes. And that was it just floored us.
Number 14. Neptune.
The first long-term observational study for protein-spilling kidney diseases, co-funded by NephCure and the NIH. This study helped us better understand the causes of protein-spilling kidney diseases.
We have a comprehensive map, the landscape of nephrotic syndrome diseases, where we capture the full aspect, all different angles of what this disease looks like.
Number 15. FSGS listed in peer-reviewed medical research program.
NephCure advocacy persuaded Congress to list this disease in the U.S. Department of Defense's research program, opening a pool of $500 million per year of research funding for FSGS.
It was really difficult when we were first looking at funding and very frustrating to think that we really felt we could make a difference in this research field, but not having an appropriate funding mechanism. And so we were really excited to see that it was listed as a specific disease of interest for this DoD program. And when we found out that that was due in large part to NephCure, we just feel like it's that you guys have thought really broadly, not only for the patients, but also how to get researchers in to try to solve these diseases.
Number 16. The first study focused on a new treatment for black kidney disease patients.
In the U.S., 1/3 of FSGS is linked to a mutation on the APOL1 gene, primarily found in black individuals. This study has the potential to find a treatment which would help a large portion of the FSGS population and pave way for more investments in genetic kidney disease research.
What this medication is going to do is reduce human suffering. It's going to slow down the progression of chronic kidney disease. And in some individuals that are able to get the medication at the early stage of their disease, it's actually going to offer a cure. This is very, very important.
Now we have a reason to test for the APOL1 risk allele status of patients, whereas in the past, it may not have been as important because there was nothing more you could offer these patients. But having a drug in the clinic specifically for this indication, this is going to change the way that we diagnose this disease.
Number 17. The first countdown to a cure.
17 years ago, patient families joined together to create one of NephCure's first fundraisers, Countdown to a Cure. This gala has since transformed in so many ways, growing to $1 million event in 2018.
Countdown 1 was unbelievable. We did $240,000 or $250,000. By Countdown 2, we already had picked up the Levine family. Just brought a whole new level to our fundraising. Once they joined the committee, it was unbelievable. And Countdown 2 made probably almost $300,000. It's amazing what a couple of dedicated parents can do.
Number 18. NephCure's 4 founding families.
2 decades ago, 4 desperate families found each other. The Smoklers, Antoshes, Stewarts, and Ortons lived in different regions of the country, but came together to help their children.
Actually, we had a club that nobody really wanted to belong to, including us. Who wants to worry about a disease? Well, our kids had it. So we started having information sessions for parents. They showed up and we shared our stories with them and exchanged pain, thoughts, worries. And month by month, scientists and doctors began to join us. We would go to conventions of nephrologists and so forth. And NephCure became known as the networking place to talk about FSGS nephrotic syndrome. We didn't just belong to NephCure, and NephCure didn't just own us. It was our lifeline. It was our path to hope.
Number 19. Dr. Martin Pollack, APOL1 Research Breakthrough and Distinguished Medical Honoree Award.
The key discovery made by Dr. Pollack and the team was that the common genetic changes in the APOL1 gene are associated with greater risk of kidney disease in people of African descent. This discovery helps explain why Black individuals are disproportionately affected by FSGS and kidney disease. This monumental research breakthrough, funded in part by NephCure, now allows other researchers to focus on finding treatments for APOL1-related kidney disease and FSGS.
It helps explain why there are racial disparities among kidney disease in the U.S. population, with Black individuals being affected more. And by Martin and David Friedman and his team and others across the country and world, by making this identification, it allows the entire world of investigators in academia and in companies to really focus on trying to figure out treatments and cures for APOL1 disease.
In my world, this is one of the most important discoveries of this century in nephrology because it has answered a critical question on health disparity. it has provided biologic basis for a known health disparity that everybody has been trying to explain for years.
I've developed a close relationship with Martin over the past decade that has been academically productive and also personally enjoyable. His belief in gaining knowledge towards improved health for individuals is commendable. His passion for social justice and equity in health is long-standing. And in general, in my opinion, Martin Pollack is a guy who's going after treatments and cures for nephrotic syndrome for the right reasons. And it's been a pleasure to have read his work, to have benefited from the understandings he's made, and to now be part of his sphere as he tries to push the field farther towards precision medicine and health for children and adults with nephrotic syndrome.
Thank you, Dr. Pollack, for making all the difference in the lives of all the unfortunate people living with FSGS and other chronic kidney disease, and this award is well deserved.
Martin, I'm so pleased to be able to congratulate you on receiving the NephCure Distinguished Medical Honoree Award. This award recognizes your many contributions to glomerular disease. But I also want to take note of and to thank you for your generous spirit and your ability to stay centered on helping advance care for all of our patients while you keep expanding the bounds of the podocyte universe. So, continue to go boldly where no one has gone before.
Thank you so much for being my nephrologist for years and years. I'm grateful for your care and expertise. I'm grateful for your respect and listening to my concerns and ideas, and I'm really grateful for your incredibly fast email responses. I'm pretty sure you've mastered the art of being in at least 3 places at once, and I look forward to figuring out how you do it.
Thank you very much for this really nice award. It's really a lovely honor. I want to start by thanking NephCure Kidney International. I recall meeting some of the people who started NephCure when I was attending my first international podocyte meeting in Ann Arbor, Michigan in the year 2000, 20 years ago. NephCure since then has grown to be a tremendous force for good in the kidney disease world. As both an advocate for patients and as a supporter of research. Really, a large number of outstanding researchers have benefited from NephCure's support over the years, who have used the support to allow them to obtain more sustained funding from the National Institutes of Health. And I know that patients with glomerular disease are receiving much better care as a result of NephCure's efforts to support and educate both physicians and patients. I want to thank my many colleagues and collaborators and trainees that I've worked with over the past 20-some years. And of course, I want to also thank my patients and all of the people who have participated in our human genetics studies. I think as a field, we've made a remarkable amount of progress together. I am very optimistic that we are really right on the cusp of advances in kidney science, finally leading to better treatments and maybe perhaps cures, and ultimately even perhaps the ability to prevent these diseases from even occurring in the first place. I think it's really important for the community watching here to keep pushing us doctors and researchers to do better. We just can't accept the notion that even the best care now available is adequate. It's really a great privilege to be able to do work that is both aimed at doing something meaningful for human beings and also, frankly, quite a lot of fun. And again, this is in large part the result of having such wonderful colleagues, collaborators, students, and patients. Thanks very much.
Number 20. The 20th Anniversary Humanitarian of the Year Award, Elise Rohoftig.
Elise has devoted an enormous amount of time and energy contributing to NephCure's cause and moving forward in its mission. Her son Andrew was diagnosed with FSGS as a young child and tragically lost his battle with the disease in 2018 at the age of 17. Elise has continued to give her time and energy to fight for a cure in his memory. NephCure is deeply honored to work with such an incredible person and is thrilled to recognize her contributions as the 20th Anniversary Humanitarian of the Year.
Elise Rohoftig is a genuine inspiration to me, and I think to anyone who has been fortunate enough to know her. Her courage through her son's difficult journey through a rare disease was inspiring to me because of her persistent positive attitude through all of it, her continued hope even through very dark times, and then in the face of tragedy when we lost Andrew, her continued courage and her determination to be a source of strength not only for the rest of her family but for others in our community. It was awe-inspiring to witness that kind of grace and courage.
Elise is a runner and would participate regularly in the Falmouth Road Race every summer in August, and year after year after year would raise $25,000, $30,000, and growing, consistently being somebody that we could count on as a longtime supporter.
Thank you for all you've done for this school and for our community. Your example to your own family, to your son Andrew, to your other children, and to all of us who've been touched by you here in Hingham, and in particular in our school, are so grateful for the example you've given to us of grace and courage and perseverance and generosity. Our community is a much, much better place because of you. I know NephCure is a better organization because of all you've given, but to anyone whose life you've touched, we are better for it, and thank you.
Elise, you are so deserving of this incredible special award. We are pleased to present it to you on the 20th anniversary of NephCure, and it truly is a testament to your giving back, your strength, your loyalty, and most of all, your love for your wonderful son, Andrew. And we are grateful to have you as part of the NephCure family.
I am incredibly honored to be the recipient of the Humanitarian of the Year award. I'm so grateful for this award, but perhaps even more grateful to have found NephCure many years ago. Actually, it was 12 years ago to be exact. In 2008, my son Andrew was diagnosed with FSGS at the age of 5. Unfortunately, his disease progression was rapid, and he spent years on dialysis and had 2 kidney transplants before he was 14. I was so happy that I had found in NephCure an organization where I could connect with other patient families, receive educational resources and emotional support through online communities. It is so hard living with kidney disease. I wanted to help NephCure. For the past 9 years, I have created NephCure teams to run road races, advocated at drug company meetings, helped with the annual NephCure Boston area walk, and with Boston's first Countdown to a Cure gala last fall. Unfortunately, a cure for FSGS did not come soon enough for our son, and he died 2 years ago at the age of 17. Andrew's wish was that there would be a cure for FSGS. I have made it my mission to help make this wish a reality for him and for others, and I won't stop supporting NephCure until a cure is found. Whether you are a patient, a friend or a family member of a patient, a physician, or someone who works in the pharmaceutical industry, remember, we are all in this together. You are all making a difference by stepping up and giving your support to NephCure when asked. Together, we will find a cure. Thank you again, NephCure, for this incredible honor tonight.